Hello everyone, Dan here, and in today's video I am showing you Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny Remastered for the first time. I want to say thank you to Capcom for providing the code for this demo, and it is about 30 to 50 minutes long. I'm going to try to break down every little thing that's maybe a little different or the same, and what we can all expect come May when the full release drops. So we're going to start off right here. You'll notice right off the first screen here, this game supports autosaves. That is a wonderful addition. Some may not like as much as others, but yes, autosaves are added to Onimusha. So why don't we go ahead and continue on here. A nice little handkerchief animation there, and we're going to get into the settings and everything the game has to offer. As you can see there is the demo. I am playing this on the PlayStation 4 version. I will be playing the full game on the Steam release, but there were some issues with codes with that one, so I opted for the PlayStation instead. Showing you the screen sizes. I turned vibration off. I do that with every game. And yeah, we take a quick look. Obviously, subtitles are there, though. Various languages are available. Here's a quick look at the control scheme. I've always used the default control scheme for every Onimusha release. I've always liked the way it feels, the way it plays, so never really felt the need to. You'll notice, though, immediately that the left stick does indeed have modern controls. The left trigger can now swap weapons, which was never available prior to this release. A very welcome change, which and you'll see me work through, and I kind of will even showcase the advantage of having it versus not, where we're going to go ahead and, you know, just mid-combat you can flip, especially when you want to use magic and that gauge gets used up. You had to open the menu and you go in there to change your weapon. All of that is removed. We're going to move right ahead here. And now we're going to go ahead and get this going. This picks up pretty early into the game. Not the very beginning. Notably, we'll skip the opening cutscene and everything, but the game gives us a nice breakdown of all the various abilities, including absorbing souls, types of souls. Most of this stuff is pretty standard to Onimusha 2 that you may have seen already. Or a lot of it even in Onimusha 1. The big noticeable difference between this one and Onimusha 1 is, of course, there's the Onimusha mode, which comes from acquiring 5 purple orbs, which is kind of like a devil trigger, if that's how you want to view it. But an ability I don't recall ever using myself for the charge attacks, which are displayed there now, where you have to equip an Oni weapon, hold R2, and then you just press square and you'll do a special attack and a string of attacks. It's very nice. There's the remaining little bits there that we can take advantage of.
In 1568, gold was discovered in the valley of Onimusha, which is situated between Mino province of Oda, the North Omi province of Asai, and the Echizen province of Asakura. In no time, adventurers and merchants, motivated by greed, crowded into Onimusha, transforming the small village into a prospering mining town.
All right, the story has been set for the demo. Here we go, and you'll instantly see a notable upgrade in graphics from the previous PS2 era. An immediate comparison that came to mind for me was when I saw Final Fantasy X remastered from the PS2 to the modern consoles or PC. Very similar idea to it, but it's how clean everything looks. All the colors look great. I mean, obviously it'll still look dated as it is.
Hey, hey,
Has aged
sake.
quite a bit, but
Don't you
much, much better look.
Sake?
So you think you're too good for me, huh? Oh, let go!
Let's kill him. We don't have to do this.
Who do you think you are?
Obviously, she is one of the orbs that are part of the plot line. I won't go too much into the story of the game on a video like this. This is just kind of showcasing the demo. But you'll notice, obviously, we're going through a cutscene here. A big thing you can do, which if you're a speedrunner of various games, including Onimusha, like I am, you can skip the cutscenes, which is a thrill to find out, which was one of the biggest reasons you never see me run the original. But here we are, we're going to open things up, just taking a quick look at what we have. We start with the charity orb. Will come into play. We've got our pretty much our base starting gear, and then our lightning blade. I went to talk to everybody in town. Just kind of testing out the movement a little bit. You can indeed do the full modern controls, which were in games like Resident Evil HD Remaster, and then the first Onimusha, where they will give you the analog stick as an alternative means to freely move around instead of being locked into tank controls. However, if you would like to use tank controls, you still can do that with the D-pad. I'm playing this again on the PlayStation 4 version of the game and using a PS4 controller. I will admit, I did not remember the exact pathing we wanted to take for Onimusha 2, so I will be a little back and forth here, but above all, it's fine, because I wanted to check everything out. There you go, one of the various trade items. If you did not know, Onimusha 2 features an interesting system of giving, which is, I imagine a little polarizing among people. I think it's a neat way to interact and bridge different paths in the game, because depending on the relationships you build, things will change. While others may find it a little frustrating, because if you give the wrong item, well, the individual may not receive it well, which we'll kind of get into that territory a little bit here soon enough. Notice in that bottom right corner, the autosave going off. It seemingly is going to go off every time we do like a major transition. It's pretty surprising, to be honest. Yeah, most of the NPCs don't have a ton to say, but they kind of fill in a little bit of things here and there, apart from Mr. Shut Up, You Idiot here. The shopkeep here. A good example of some of the great colors in this game, in this remaster, the parrot right there. But just some of the various items you can buy. And noting the history book there. And you want to note the vodka there if you go to play this. This is a small, walkthrough tip. The vodka can get you a very nice item, I'll just say that. There's actually a section of town that I did not explore in this particular run, where you can go the opposite way that I'm ultimately going to go outside, and you can find the ancient documents, which is another very nice item to give to one of the characters coming up. You know, that's okay. It's not a huge loss for this. I actually didn't think I could go back that way initially here. I don't know why I did believe this, but I thought the demo was going to kind of restrict me to basically moving forward. But nevertheless, we're going to head up to the mining camp, see what lies ahead. And what lies ahead are demons and our first trial with the combat. So I wanted to just, you know, see how it felt to block, how it felt to do combos. This is very much standard Onimusha stuff, but I deep down knew one thing I wanted to do, and that was to do some Eason combos. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. Which is basically the critical attack where right as you're about to get hit, you press the square button or X on an Xbox controller, and you'll do a quick insta-kill just like I performed there. Now, getting the timing down is a little tricky, and it does vary weapon to weapon, but there you go. There's a nice double kill there that you can perform. Notice I'm picking up gold dropped by the enemies, along with absorbing their souls that they drop, which will refill magic, help you level things up, and help improve and help heal you as well. But you can chain your Easons together in this game very nicely, where you can get 3-4 guys with one string of Easons all together. It's a little tricky. It takes some practice, and you're gonna see me work a lot over the course of this, to where we start trying to execute more and more of them, just to see how it feels, and it feels great. I can tell you this, like, you're seeing me. I perform those, and I've played a lot of the first game. I've got several videos about it, but for the second game, I want to say I've played this game 3 or 4 times over the course of my life. And, you know, I understand the mechanics fairly well from the first. It's pretty much the same, but I can just say that it feels really good. Like, the window, it's not like it's free, you know. Obviously, I'm getting hit a lot here because I'm missing it, but it feels perfectly generous. You know, it's not free to where you have just this OP attack that's gonna just win you the whole game. But, you know, it's not so tough that it's not even worth going for either. So we need the mining pass. That's why we're heading back down towards town now. We're just accumulating gold, and mainly wanted to showcase the combat as well as we can here. If you see any kind of cut at some point, it may be just because I've showcased a lot. There will be various spots where I showcase a lot of the combat, and I may cut some of that out just because it's essentially the same idea over and over again, just to avoid making the video too repetitive or anything like that, since this is just kind of a showcase thing. We'll see though, just in case. Just putting that out there now. So this is again a small thing, but if you're a speedrunner or you just don't want to watch the cutscenes on a second playthrough, we're about to see our first example of skipping a cutscene. The little elevator going back up there. We're gonna have to trigger a cutscene of it lowering, and I'm going to skip it by hitting and holding the options or start button. And again, it's a very small thing, but depending on how you play your game or whatever, this could be a huge thing for you. This might be my favorite feature of the entire remaster. But and we head up here. At first I thought this was a puzzle box. I couldn't remember what the puzzle boxes looked like in this, but it's just a regular long box with a bow inside. And so now we can head back out, and we need to still find that pass to get into the mine. Once again, noted autosave upon leaving there. A few more people walking around the village now. It's not the liveliest, most like insanely active village you'll ever see in a video game, but it's also got some life to it. It's nice to see. And so I'm going to head into the shop. This is where I originally thought I could buy the permit, but not from this guy. Yeah, I actually didn't do this on this initial playthrough, but you can interact with the dog. It'll start barking and everything. Just always a nice little tidbit when you can, you know, enjoy the cats and the dogs. But here, enjoy this cutscene.
Magoichi, where did you take my girl? How dare you disturb our time? Together!
That woman gave me the help sign, so I had to break things up between the two of you. Get over it.
What?
Seriously. Who'd want a red bald head like you?
Red bald head! That does it! Outside now!
Yeah, obviously the voice acting, perhaps mixed results. You know, some may like them, some may not. Overall, I think the voice acting itself is fine. Whether they fit the characters or not is, you know, up to you. But of course, you can play the game in Japanese or, you know, any other number of languages. So that may help your experience a bit in that regard.
You arrogant fool! Stop this!
Eke Ankakuji is an honorable man, famous with the spear of the Hazoin. Magoichi Saiga is also an honorable man, and is a chief of the Kishu Saiga gun team. But it is dishonorable to fight over such trifle things.
And you are?
Jubei Yegyu, the young chief of the Yegyu clan.
Again, not to talk over the cutscene, but just can't help but observe how great the colors look on everybody's clothes here and armor and everything. Looks very good, everything pops just the way it seems like it really should. All right, so yeah, here's our tutorial on giving items. Again, you can go up to various other characters, and again, you'll press start and you can give them an item. Now you can talk to them a little bit beforehand to kind of get an idea of what they would like. And even with that knowledge, sometimes the items you find or you may make a little mistake with it, and you'll see me make a little mistake here, but also a correct choice as well. Yeah, so Makuichi wants historic documents, which are actually back the other direction from where I'm going, where I actually don't venture into. You can find those, they'll be given to you by an NPC. But I remember seeing this history book in here, so I went ahead and grabbed this. Now you'll notice it's volume 5, and that is where I made my mistake. Now, if I was given a gift of a random book or random anything of a set that I didn't have, I'd still be happy to have it, be grateful for the gift, but that isn't how this game's gonna work. So we're gonna go up and give him History Book Volume 5. Now, this is me thinking I'm doing this to get the mining pass, because I still didn't remember exactly where.
It would be better to read them all at once.
Yeah, so he wants them all at once, and he frowns at his gift, but he does give us some wine. Now, thankfully, wine is a very, very popular gift over this way, though, so we'll see how this goes. So we're gonna give some wine here.
I love good drinks.
See, he's happy with the gift. And he gives us a very nice return in the form of a magic jewel, which is a great gift. And in doing that, we kind of build our relationship there, and you'll see various things play out in the future where I will benefit from this. I'll just say that. And that's a cool thing about Onimusha 2 and the gift giving system is it's like I started down a path now that we can continue to build or not build throughout the rest of the game. It's various branching paths you can take. I kind of just walk up to this guy, and it turns out he's the one with the permits for sale. I noticed he was on his own now, though, so that's kind of what gave me the idea to go up and talk to him, but... Yeah, we got our mountain permit. We can head into the mine, so we're going to head back up the hill here. Yeah, sadly, we're pretty well in, about halfway done with the demo already. Really, if you wanted to do this quickly, this would be no time at all. I'm again trying some more Easons here, trying to get them. And there's a couple instances here where I get into a little bit of trouble. I just can't quite hit them. I'm trying to get them lined up too, because I want to get all 4 of these guys with one. I know it can be done. I mean, obviously we've gotten 3. There's 3 again, though. Which is as satisfying as you'd think to pull it off. Especially when you start getting, like, good strings, combos of them all together. It's very, very satisfying. You know, it's the idea that, like, they say, you know, you're the master of the blade and everything like this. But then it'll take you, like, 14 hits to take down a guy or something. You know, it's like, oh, okay, we're good, but how good are we really? Well, when you can pull off those instas like that, it feels like you really are the master. It's great stuff. Great, great stuff. A little notice on the background, the environment and everything, how really nicely detailed everything is.
Okay, you can go in.
Things like the trees, the grass, everything like that all around here. Yeah, so there's the history book volume 4. So I could have eventually accumulate the entire set, but that's the kind of thing that where I mentioned the possible downside for some people with the gift giving system is they just may not simply know what's going to be there
Monsters.
and what's going to work with some people.
What?
All right, into the mines we go. Once again, love seeing that autosave. Notice here me whiff at some of these barrels. This was one of the hardest parts of the entire thing. I kid you not. But first we're going to take a look at the magic mirror again. Once again, what you can upgrade your armor, all pieces. You can upgrade your various weapons. Pretty much just like Onimusha 1 in that regard. The only notable thing that I just thought about though is that you cannot upgrade your arrows from normal arrows to fire arrows. This is me whiffing embarrassingly. And we head on down. Yeah, just like Onimusha 1, a lot of the story will be told through various scrolls that you find through chests or just lying around. Obviously, you don't have to read them. It's kind of like, it does a very nice job balancing the very baseline of the story, the core of the story still will be presented through cutscenes, just like Resident Evil does. And if you want to further lore dump and learn more and more, you can read the documents, but you don't have to do, you can get what you need just by watching the cutscenes if that's all you really want to do. And if you want to become an expert on it, you read all of these and you can further research from there. Okay, there. That's after reading that. I figured I'd move that ahead a little bit. So after reading that, we went ahead and did the puzzle box, which take on a new form in this game. You just have to match the circle in the middle. This is the same as the original version, but different from Onimusha 1. And we find a scroll with a command technique, a combo, which is another addition Onimusha introduced. I don't know why I opened giving items there. Yes, down, and then up plus square will allow you to do this nice little 3-hit bit. It does some good damage too. It's not like using your Eason, critical attacks where you get your insta kills with it, but not bad either. There you go. There's a good example of it. Not too bad. Not too bad. And somehow he gets a little ahead of us here. That's just how video games work, I guess. And as we continue to move through the mine, though, obviously a lot of gold. It is a gold mine. Surprisingly, nothing hidden in any of these breakable, like, little barrels or anything, though. They're just the ultimate tease. And here we go, our first real threatening enemy. Well, sort of. Probably the equivalent somewhere around the lines of, those second demons you might fight in Onimusha 1. Once again, I'm trying to achieve some Eason luck here. These guys are a little harder to read, though. An interesting tip I did get from chat, though, was the fact that, and here I just use magic so I don't accidentally get taken out here. But you can hold your soul absorb to bait attacks, and I had never known that was a thing. And of course, there you go. There's a down execution, just like in Onimusha 1. Those make a return. Just doing some base exploring. And for anybody that doesn't know Onimusha, a good way I always kind of explain it to folks that come in, or it's a mix of Resident Evil and Devil May Cry. It's like the middle ground. It has the exploration of Resident Evil more than Devil May Cry does, and it has more action than Resident Evil does outright, at least most Resident Evils anyway. So it's kind of like, if you say exploration is Resident Evil, action is Devil May Cry, Onimusha sits in the middle. Yeah, maybe that's a better way of explaining it. Yeah, you can see though the difference. That base combo is just not very... It's not quite as effective as you'd wish. I'm still trying to get the Easons on these guys. Can't quite get the timing down. Yeah, though, more orbs absorbed. And we're just gonna move forward. That's what we need. Keep moving. I say as I head back the other way. Because I didn't fully explore this area. Because knowing Capcom told me beforehand this demo was only going to be about 30 to 50 minutes long. And I was so worried because I didn't remember the layout of this that I was going to walk into the end of it. Because I knew this mine was going to be it. That I knew for certain. There's the Eason there. But it's still not consistent. Yeah, we'll get there though. Yeah, but again, notice how nice everything looks and sounds. The hits sound crisp and solid. And you can, like, just the way you flow between enemies, everything like that. This is all stuff that was solid in the original version, and the remaster doesn't compromise it at all. It just continues to be a really nice, effective piece of the game. All the strengths are still here, and it feels like they did nothing but improve things that could afford to be improved. Nice double Eason there. And again, with practice, obviously, all this stuff can be improved upon. And I hope to achieve that as well one day. But there are videos out there where you can see folks doing no damage runs of this game, and they are very impressive to see, where they've got the timing just perfected to where I wouldn't be surprised if they could do this game blindfolded. So this is where the branching paths take place.
I'm here to help you.
You notice Maguichi is a little less interested in helping after we failed to give him the item he truly wanted. So this is kind of where a branching part takes place. It has a little bit of the idea of like Resident Evil 3, the original version. Always make note of that. Where, the choices you make regarding Nemesis, like, for example, there's even a choice that can result in Barry saving you at the end of RE3, or you just don't see Barry ever in the game. Little things like that really take place in this game as well.
help. Huh? My daughter was kidnapped by monsters.
What? Your daughter? So, is your daughter pretty?
Oh, of course. I think she is the most beautiful girl in the world.
Great! I shall bring her back to you. Tell me, where did the monsters go?
That way.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you can't argue against his determination.
Okay. He's always getting into trouble.
Now, whether it's always appropriate or not, it's another thing, but, you know, at least, you know, he knows what he wants. Yeah, so once again, some little document on the 5 Oni orbs. We have the charity orb already. So this is how you obtain your new weapons in this game. Is you go up and you put your hand inside this mouth. Dragon, no less, which is just perfect. And so there you go, you get your new weapon, which is an ice spear, no less. Very, well, pardon me, cool. Very effective weapon, though. Very interesting, and it's a nice, completely different feeling weapon from anything from Onimusha 1. And definitely different just from the sword you start with in this game. It's, there's the charge, which I definitely underutilize in this particular showcasing. But here's me showing this is the hot swap. That's how easily you can switch between your weapons. Everything like that. Perfect. That right there is almost as big as skipping cutscenes. My inner speedrunner just cheers when I see this. All right, we're gonna continue onward though. New weapon in hand as I continue to kill these enemies with the old weapon. There you go. I decided to switch though. Try out this spear here. Yeah, you do see some of the awkwardness perhaps on display that can happen when you have fixed camera / tank controls. Sometimes the camera can be a little unforgiving. You know, if you're used to it, it's not as bad. You've played a number of games like kind of have it, but it's just it's one of those things where it'll affect each person a little differently. And this is showcasing the charge attacks a little bit. So this is done by holding the right trigger just for a bit. Yeah, simple as that. One thing I do wish I did in this as well was I wish I had used the bow. I actually never use it. But then again, I guess the bow's kind of standard stuff. It pretty much is what it is. More or less to show how effective it can be and, you know, things like that. And so once again, just trying to practice, maybe see if I can get some timing down on the critical hits with the spear here. And I love the way he dashes in and stabs instantly with it. Looks so good. Again, it all feels very natural, very easy to do. And again, you see me kind of mashing on these enemies though, but you've also seen how close I've come to death a couple of times because I've missed counters and things like that. Yeah, this game will punish you if you're not careful. And nothing is free, that is for sure.
Makalichi, you fool! I won't forgive you!
And these two going at it again. And you can see the gate back there. That's one of the gates we read about where we have to use the element to break it open, which means we would have had to gone back anyway to get the spear to break that seal, since it is an ice shield.
Do anything to make it happen. Anything.
Even serve Nobunaga.
Yes. The point is, Makuichi laughed at my dream.
I laugh because it's silly. Jubei, what's your dream?
I don't have a dream. I will kill Nobunaga.
Another man possessed by a vengeful ghost.
A vengeful ghost? What do you mean? Makuichi!
Yeah, there's a nice look at the gate we have to get through. Yep, just give it a good hit with your magic attack from the spear and it will shatter open. Yeah, medicine, same design by the way as in the original Onimusha. And part of me wishes I had killed a few more enemies as well to level up some stuff beforehand, but that wasn't realistic for this part of the game. I would just be killing waves and waves of the enemies, which it wouldn't be the worst thing because I guess I could practice the Isens, but yeah, I was also streaming this live at the time, so I didn't want to go ahead and, you know, just make everybody sit there for me grinding for 30 minutes or however long it would take. Maybe not 30 minutes, but gotta keep things moving sometimes.
What do you think you are doing? How dare you invade my territory?
I apologize for the sound effect. That was from my stream there, not the game.
Why did you come here?
I'm looking for a woman. I have no quarrel with you.
Who do you think you're talking to?
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna say this outright before things get started here. You know we're gonna fight. This guy kind of works me over a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Now I did do this again the second time, and I did a lot better in the rematch. But this time, I'm just gonna say this is gonna be a little rough. Sorry, again, that's my stream. We had a little bit of a hype train going on. Yeah, one thing I also was trying to do so desperately here was get the orbs for the Onimusha ability. It was one thing I kind of forgot about wanting to showcase until it was like already here, and I knew this guy was going to be it. Yeah, spoiler, this is the end of it. Is this guy. But he's pretty tough, mainly because of that attack right there. Notice the quick switch on the fly. I noticed once again because he loved his wine. Eke is in here to help us do some fighting here. Thankfully, I've accumulated a nice amount of healing thanks to not having to use any. The enemies being very generous with health drops to this point. And you'll notice he actually does really help us too. He gets some stuns. He forces some orb drops and everything. Yeah, the AI isn't just here for show. They're here to help. Very nice. Seeing the lightning ability though, very similar to the one from that Samanosuke used, the Onimusha one, with its own uniqueness too though. Go backing away, trying to get some souls. This was one thing I did not figure out. You notice how he said Jubei ready. I never could quite figure out what combo if he was trying to set up a combo or what exactly here. Yeah, if anybody knows, feel free to let me know. Again, I'm not as familiar with Onimusha 2 as I am the first one at its core, like things like that. Yeah, this is where the like ground pound of his Goro attack here is just, or not Goro, Kentaro attack here is just kind of working me over here. Almost death. I wanted that purple orb. But yeah, you heard him again there. He said Jubei ready, and then he summons the red force field there. But I don't know exactly what he's doing. I was thinking maybe it was a little like using a soul absorber in Onimusha 1, where maybe if you hit something while that field is up, or within that field, you'll get more soul drops. But again, I'm not totally sure. I can assure you though, this fight can go much, much better than this. You can East in this guy, I learned. I didn't actually perform it myself, but I was told this by Chad. Yeah, the rematch goes a lot smoother. Down to that last medicine. And just keep wailing on him. And there he goes. We got him. Finally, I'll admit. He is down, though. So that's going to bring us about to the end of the demo here. I do want to make mention that, again, to thank Capcom for the code, allowing me to take an early look at this demo. I am greatly appreciative of that. And yeah, I want to thank you for watching and everything. If you want to see me play some Onimusha live, be sure to check me out over on Twitch. And if you want to see more speedruns and Onimusha content as well, check out YouTube as well. I have a number of speedruns here, some challenge runs for Onimusha and other games as well, similar games. So yeah, consider checking all that stuff out if you're interested. But until then, thank you for watching, and hey, let's look forward to some Onimusha 2 Remastered later in May. This is looking like, dare I say, a perfect remaster. Exactly what I was hoping for anyway. But anyway, thank you for watching.